sure how much you really want to know, but... Okay, a serious poem for a moment. One small afternoon, I rode on a feather to see my auntie, who was aware of my eccentricities. Uncle was combing the garden and saying, I asked you, get a decent job, boy, and things I couldn't catch. One small afternoon, I got a decent job, but found the foreman was unaware of my eccentricities. He would not let me ride my feather, so, offended, I eliminated him, which disturbed a lot of people, like his wife and the judge, who said things I couldn't catch. One small afternoon I was taken and detained at the Queen's displeasure, to where they share my eccentricities. Absolutely everybody here rides a feather. But for Auntie, when she comes to cry and bring me biscuits and say things I cannot catch. That I wrote a long, long time ago, and I think it was the first poem I ever had published in Poetry Review. And I didn't really write any more poetry because as a journalist I needed to earn a living and have 2 kids and grandchildren and all that sort of thing, make some money. But one of my assignments was Express newspapers, sorry about that, but Express newspapers for Guardian readers. And my office was on the South Bank, overlooking the river. But also, our nearest pub, very important, of course, to journalists, was the Founder's Arms, which is still there. And also, it's the nearest pub to Shakespeare's Globe. And I had this vision that maybe Shakespeare, who lived around there for a time, acted around there, might well have known it, or its predecessor. So this is Join Me for Lunch at Shakespeare's Local. This morning I am Shakespeare, seated in the poet's arms, 2 verses distant from the Globe, engaged on Hamlet, or possibly Coriolanus. I get the thinnest smile from Cordelia, who looks quite pale behind the bar. Family troubles, I imagine. A row with Dad, maybe. Too soon for lunch I drink the blood of Titus A, then settle for a pound of flesh, Shylock's special of today, with cutlery from Cassius, though a rather cloudy glass of wine from Juliet I cautiously decline. Henry V drops by to use the gents, his army alongside. They boast fake timber medals and exaggerated codpieces. Police with shields persuade them all to leave. I read that Marlowe isn't very well. In fact, he's dead as far as I can tell. They're baiting bears at Southwark, hanging a girl at Tyburn for doing nothing very much. Diversions such as these intrude upon my prose. I close my eyes to think of lines to start the Tempest on Twelfth Night. Wake to find that everything I've written has been lost, translated into ale stains, embedded in the skins of tabletops, as fast as they are made, forgot as soon as done, as I wrote last week in Peak. Mid-afternoon, the clock upbraids me. Late again. An audience awaits me at the Globe. I'll write again tomorrow, the life and death of Cleopatra. I'll illuminate a darker age. But as for now, the bard must leave the bar. Macbeth tonight, and I am due to take the stage.
I'm also due to leave this one in a minute, but I'd just like to say thank you to Peter Keeble and his team, to my very, very good friend Frances White, who very kindly wrote wonderful things about me. I didn't recognise myself actually, it was very sweet of her. And I think I've just got time to do this. A tough audience. When you're doing this sort of thing, you're a lovely audience, but sometimes it can be difficult. This is a tough audience. They said Monday's audience would be tough, blaming the rain. So I start with the Englishman, the Scotsman, and the sheep from Pontypridd, which is normally a knockout. You could measure the silence in shuffles. So I try the Tom Jones song and Flounder in the High Seas, while the mother-in-law jokes head them for the exit marked PCs. Last resort, I do a pratfall and break a leg, which sometimes happens. Now my leg becomes their funny bone. They rise to applaud, just like the old days, while outside the rain washes my name from the posters. And just a quickie, I know some of you have come a long way and London's pretty crowded. If you get stuck in a queue, this is what you do. How to jump a queue. Waiting need not be a bore. Announce your name and that of your wife, your children, others in your life, the lovers lined up at your door. Request that those stuck in the queue voice their thoughts on immigration, lawlessness, Nigel Farage, I've just thought of that one actually. Nigel Farage, our failing nation, insist they state their point of view, ask to which party they belong, how much they earn and what they're worth, how long we've left on planet Earth, and will they join you in a song? Then watch the parting of the sea. Proceed to counter number 3.
That's the end of the first half.